Good evening, Renata. I am here at Prismatic on the downtown Ithaca Commons. Now, I'm keeping my top light off for you guys tonight because I want you to see these awesome lights that are behind me here. Now, if you notice, I was able to actually physically spin this prism. These lights are in place of the regular ice sculptures that are usually here in downtown Ithaca around this time of year because they wanted to try lighting up the night this year. Now, there are going to be a few different pop-up shops, and I am going to step out of frame for you to show you a little bit more of these.
Bath at the start of the finish line. Christina, how's the weather looking out there?
Hey there, Alex. The weather is a little chilly for my taste right now. I guess you would definitely call it flannel weather if that's what you're planning on doing today, is just coming outside and hanging out. But I'm here at the start line of the Wine Glass Marathon in Bath, New York, and it's all the way behind me. Right back there is the start. But that's not what's very interesting right now. It is pretty windy out, and I'm gonna give you a little bit of a look that people are trying to stay warm right over in this tent that is right next to me over here. But if you can see, people are starting to running, they are stretching, they are getting ready for this marathon. I'm gonna give you a little zoom in just to give you a little perspective of what I'm seeing. Now, people are definitely a little bit chilled because I believe it is only about 51 degrees here in Bath. You can see that people are wrapped in these different blankets right here. We'll do a little zoom right there. And they are all just keeping moving to make sure that they are staying warm. There is another runner for you. We have a bunch of them over here that are stretching. But so I can give you another look at that just at the end of Good Morning Twin Tiers. But until then, right now, I'm in Bath where we are getting ready for the start of the Wine Glass Marathon, and right now it is 7:35, so we're just a little over 45 minutes to 40 minutes away from the beginning of that marathon. But until then, back to you in the studio. All of the doors are officially open here at the Ithaca Tompkins International Airport, just in time for holiday travel. Matt Gualiardo has been living with Lyme disease for over 3 years, and just recently he fell in his garage while working, but he is now home and recovering since that fall. Matt explained his fall occurred due to his leg fatigue that comes with Lyme disease. The condition causes him to be restricted to his chair more often than not, but living with Lyme comes with a lot more symptoms than just physical ones.
In the height of my symptoms, I had some cognitive issues with memory loss and brain fog, and that was when I was still working at Elmira College full-time, and meeting with students. If I didn't have my notes in front of me, I wouldn't remember what we even talked about just a couple hours ago or the day before.
Matt is now home recovering from his recent fall and is happy to be home with his favorite doctors.
They're both very therapeutic, and yeah, you're a good doctor. So, but they've helped me a lot, and it's good to be home and out of rehab, so I can sleep with them at night again and have them around.
He tells WENY News the hardest part about managing his condition and still being active is making time for himself to stop and relax.
Just learning how to take time for myself and how to heal. That's not very much something that I'm used to. I like to be out in the community, I like to be engaged, and I like to work. So that's also impacted me and shifted what my mindset has to be, just to make sure I'm doing what's right to get better.
No matter how many times Matt gets knocked down, he refuses to give up because he wants to get back to working and doing what he loves. Reporting in Elmira, Christina AP, WENY News. This afternoon, hundreds of community members came out to help lay over 6,000 wreaths here at the Woodlawn National Cemetery.
The first time that we had, there was probably 300 wreaths. They didn't even show up, so we had to do it the next week, or the next week. And it has just grown so much, and it means so much to see the community support and have everybody here to honor these veterans.
The event has more than tripled in size over the past 5 years. Community members, along with many other groups, volunteered their time this afternoon, saying it was the very least they could do.
It's really just kind of one of the most important things. You're just helping your veterans and showing that the community really cares.
Veterans who not only help today, but have been actively involved over the past 5 years, say this turnout was like an early Christmas present for them.
the feeling you get when you do this, you can't beat it. This is the best Christmas ever. This is like all the Christmas presents you wanted in one big bag.
Just last night, Wreaths Across America made an announcement that will greatly help Woodlawn get closer to their over 8,000 wreath goal.
It came on our Facebook today that Wreaths Across America from Columbia Falls, Maine, is, they stated that all the fundraising groups for Wreaths Across America, for every wreath that you get sponsored, they will match. So if we got 100 wreaths, then they would also match with 100 wreaths for us. And that's for next year.
If you would like to learn more about Wreaths Across America and or make a donation, you can head over to WENY.com and click on this story. Reporting in Elmira, Christina Episcopo, WENY News.
We want to get this solved as soon as possible so we can continue and help our customers get those shelters in place.
This is what the GM of TCAT told me this afternoon when we discussed the vandalism that has now targeted over 14 shelters in the past month. Because of this, they are putting a temporary stop on their other shelter locations.
We have 5 other shelters that have never been in place in locations that we want to get up there to help our customers, but we don't want to put up a new shelter and have it get damaged.
Behind me is the West Village location where you can see there is no windows left on this structure, and it has actually been hit about 6 times, and all of these repairs are really starting to add up.
The cost of replacing a shelter itself is smaller shelters between $4,000 to $5,000. A larger shelter could be up to $9,000. And the panels that have been broken, those panels are expensive as well.
TCAT has gone as far as partnering with local law enforcement to try to catch the vandals.
We've worked with both Ithaca Police and the Sheriff's Department, and we are doing everything we can to try to figure out who the perpetrator is and what the pattern is.
Earlier this week, WENY News first brought you the story of a veteran who was close to losing his home, but then one Pennsylvania state constable showed up at the right time to turn his life around. Yesterday, the home renovation started, and WENY's Christina Episcopo was able to stop by to see how the progress was going.
This month, Raymond Chan Dick was going to lose his home due to back taxes, which he was unable to pay. But because of one Pennsylvania constable who was originally there to serve him his tax notices, Raymond is not going to only be able to keep his house, but live out a safe and comfortable life.
I felt something had to be done. He gave 2 years of his life, for the country. I figured it was the least we could do to try to help him. And I realized some people might have tried to help him before, but coming up cleaning or doing some things, that's not getting rid of all the issues.
Canning worked fast to get the word out about this veteran who was in desperate need of help. And in an instant, the people of Bradford County came to the rescue, and Raymond could not reiterate how unbelievably happy he was.
I'm so blessed by all these people. And if there's anything in this world that I could say about Pennsylvania, they got the best people in the United States, right here in this county, Bradford.
Raymond says that he cannot thank this constable enough for all of the work he has put in and all of the community he was able to gather in such a short time to help bring this house back to life.
I have to pinch myself at least 5 times a day today to make sure that I'm not going to wake up and feel that this is a dream. They are the most wonderful people in the world that were brought here by this young man.
Raymond told WENY News that this is not only going to impact his life, but it is going to help him get his wife to move back home and his grandchildren to come visit him again. The construction on Raymond's house started early on Saturday morning, but there was more damage than expected. So this one-day project is going to be extended.
This is probably going to turn into a multi-day event, but if we can at least get him so he can sleep in here tonight, we've accomplished a lot.
Reporting in Athens, Pennsylvania, Christina Episcopo, WENY News. What started out as an innocent birthday gift for their mother has turned into a huge community celebration. The Zamoyski family, who owns the Daffodil Farm, helps bring the color yellow to Daffodil Days, which is happening this weekend from 10 until 5, Saturday and Sunday. This is the last weekend you can get a chance to see their amazing array of daffodils before they get picked.
Close, we've planted over 174 varieties, 21 different mixes, so it's a good chance to get up close and personal. If you're looking at the catalogs and you want to see what they really look like, you can come check them out here.
For their mother's 85th birthday, the kids decided to order and plant 13,000 daffodils for her, being her favorite flower. And since then, they have continued to add more flowers and spread the love of them to their community and neighboring areas, especially through Operation Extend the Joy.
And 3 years ago, we started a second part that we call Operation Extend the Joy, where we pick daffodils after the showing and we give them to hospitals, hospice, elderly housing, anybody that can't reach us.
Even though their mother Joy passed away in 2014, the family is still keeping her memory alive by keeping her name planted in daffodils in the middle of the field behind me. Reporting in Candor, I'm Christina AP for WENY News.
So the last time that we actually seen him has been a while, but he would call for food. And then we would take it up, but he wouldn't answer the door, which was really odd. So it seemed like he was getting a little bit more mentally unstable.
Maria Phelps, the owner of the Pizza Barn in Elkland, explains to WENY News, as she was the one who called 911 for a welfare check on DeLoss Lau. Phelps and her staff were primary food providers for Mr. Lau and grew concerned when they had not heard from him in a few weeks.
So I sent my delivery drivers up there to try to see if he was there, you know. Like I said, he doesn't have a vehicle, he can't go anywhere. And we couldn't get a hold of him. And so then I contacted the local police and they said they couldn't do anything, told me I needed to call the state police, so I did.
And when she called in, she warned the troopers about what they were going to. She says she told police Lau had a history of mental illness and also had weapons in the home.
I was very adamant about the fact that he's not okay. Like, you know, and I'm assuming that's why they sent 3 officers.
3 Pennsylvania State Police responded to Lau's house and say after they went inside to check on him and announce themselves, they were met with gunfire. One trooper was shot in the chest and another suffered a leg injury. Both of them are recovering tonight. That sparked a standoff that lasted until approximately 2 a.m. Wednesday morning, when police shot Lau after he exchanged gunfire. For Maria, she never thought it would unfold this way.
I could have never imagined that this is the way this would have been. And I feel so bad that he lost his life. And he was not a bad person. He just was mentally ill.
Pennsylvania State Police say the incident is still under investigation. Stick with WENY News on air and online as we continue to follow this story. In Elkland, Pennsylvania, Christina AP, WENY News. If you see orange and or yellow flashing lights and reflective vests such as this one, it's a good indication that you need to slow down because you're entering a work zone. Operation Hard Hat is State Police's way of making sure that the public is doing just that.
These workers for the DOT, they are out on the road, they're working on the road, and sometimes they're not able to consistently look up at traffic and see who's coming at them.
Because of this, the move over law was put into place several years ago, but unfortunately it has not always been enough. Due to the rising work zone accidents, New York State Police created Operation Hard Hat, where they are disguising themselves as workers and observing drivers passing through work zones.
I think the Operation Hard Hat has definitely raised a lot of awareness. A lot of people are paying attention in the work zones. I think that at least it's flagged some people to realize that there are people working on the road, and don't be selfish and be on your cell phone.
A work zone speeding ticket can range from $90 to $600, depending on the speed the person is traveling. Troopers say the goal isn't to just hand out expensive speeding tickets, but to protect the workers doing work on the roads.
These workers have put their lives out on the line. They want to go back home to a family, and we don't want somebody doing something reckless that could potentially get these workers hurt.
At the end of the day, state police are just asking everyone to slow down, buckle up, and put those phones down, regardless if you're traveling through a work zone or if you're just driving on the road. Reporting in Ithaca, Christina AP, WENY News. And now all that is left to do is for you to come check it out for yourself. For WENY News, I'm Christina AP.